Hey there, folks. So on this video, I want to continue on with some of what I've already shared and share with you all that from the time that the molestation happened at 5 years old, I went on to have, like I mentioned in the first intro video, a good life. My parents did a great job providing for me things that they didn't have, a lifestyle that they did not have, and I'm very grateful for all of those things. I got to be immersed in, a black family, but going to a white private school. So I got all of the appreciation of the darkness and the velvetiness and mocha-ness of my skin, and my mom buying these gorgeous figurines that are called All God's Children, and having a phenomenal dance teacher that was as cocoa skinned as me, and she was so talented and fierce and had her own business, and had a husband that adored her, and I got to see healthy marriages, and I got to see some unhealthy marriages, but I got to see the soulfulness and wonderful, rich culture of Black people, African American people in the United States, in the South, that were my family, that were my friends, that were church members. And I also got to experience what was, let me get this door, one moment, please. All right, so thank you for being patient as I went and handled that visitor at the door. So continuing on with what I was saying, so I did get to grow up with the richness of the African American Black culture that I saw with friends, family, organizations that I was privy to be a part of as a tween and teenager. Top Teens of America, if anybody out there is familiar. And I think it was Ladies of Distinction that were our chaperones and sponsors and gave us scholarships. And I did grow up primarily going to a white Church of Christ private school, and in the 9th grade left there and went to a predominantly Hispanic and Black high school on the opposite side of town, because we lived in a town that was still very segregated by race. There were races that were there were minority races in the 80s and 90s that were infiltrating the white side of town still. This is Podunk, small town, USA, in the South of America, is what my experience was. And my parents were one of those. They were like, nope, we getting smack dab in the middle of White City, USA. And I went to, White City, USA school for 1st through 8th grade. And then 9th grade, there was a program called International Baccalaureate. It had hit the scene, baby. It came to Texas. It was making a scene in small town USA. And my mom was like, you deserve this. You are smart enough. You are capable. Great mom. You are smart enough. You are capable. I know that you can do this work. I know that you thrive. I know you're intelligent. I know you can handle this. We're applying to get you into this program. I had to meet with the head of school. Some people call that the principal, 1 or 2 times. And he was kind of an overpowering man. He was like 6'4", kind of a thick-build white guy that probably played football, back in his time. I want to say it's McCullum. If anybody sees this that, knows me and knows the small town USA I grew up in, you may be able to recall who he was. But he looked very daunting. But when my mom and I sat down with him, he was just so cool. So I got to meet with him a couple of times, and he understood. He understood as much as my mother could relay to him, from a Black woman to a white man, that, here her Black female child is coming from White City, USA school for like the last 8 years of her life. And she's coming to a Black and Hispanic are the majority in the school situation. And it was fine. Of course, there were situations where I clearly did not fit in, like just clearly did not fit in. The way that I dressed, and I had a mother who studied fashion fashion merchandising and design. So with my daughter, she still does this. It's like, oh my gosh, I have a daughter. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna dress her up and I'm gonna put this on her and let her do this and little cute hats and da da da. And so that's just how I grew up. I was like, that's just how you dress, you know. And fast forward here in present day, I've done some caregiving. I have mad respect for our elders and lend my time to them when time permits. And my second language is Spanish, and one of the ladies I was helping recently, her first language is Spanish, and she told me, ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué vestiste como eso? Like, why do you dress like that? And I was like, this is just how I dress. Like, it's just, I feel good like this. And then there's times where I feel good like this, like I have on a workout shirt. I love the shirt material that wicks away sweat. And then I have on some workout leggings, like that's another facet of me you're going to see on the channel too. I'm going to share workout routines and videos and things of that nature because it's so important to take care of our physical health as much as we take care of our spiritual health and our mental health. Amen. So I'll be sharing those things on here too. And you'll also see the parts of the layer, the parts of the onion that will layer through. That's my tech side. That's my my coaching side, wanting to envelop you in love and teach you about emotional intelligence and how to be your best self. So all of those things are going to come through here on this channel. But so moving on, it was a very eye-opening experience, but I never went into it timid. So although I didn't talk a lot, although I was perceived as being very shy, in my mind I'm going to observe you until I know who you are. Stranger danger, who are you? I don't care if you are 14. Who are you? The little girl who was 5 and a 14-year-old male cousin did something to her. I don't know you. It's going to take me a minute. Like, we have to be properly introduced, or I have to know that you're safe before I just let myself come out. And there was a core group of girlfriends that I had that we've since lost touch, but every now and then I'll hear from one of them, or they'll hear from me. But man, that's been years and years and years. We're talking 28 years ago. Life has changed so much for all of us, but they took me in. Lord knows what they may have said when I wasn't around, but when they were around me and I was around them, they took me in. They were warm. They were welcoming. Kim, Danielle, Latoya, if you all are out there and ever see this, thank you. Thank you. And I remember Kim saying her mother, oh, that woman has a beautiful soul. Her mother said, how was it for me on the first day or the first week? Was it a culture shock? And I'm sure that it was, but I just don't come. I come from thoroughbreds of people who remember the stoic. Come on, motherfucker, let's fight if we gotta fight. Like, that's deep within the DNA of my loins. So as scared as I could have been, as worried as I could have been, like Anwar White said on a podcast I heard him on recently, a lot of black girls were taught to raise up, or we were raised up and taught to be, you got this, be a strong black woman. You got this, move on. It's all right. So that's what I did. So I'm sure there were times when I may have written in my diary or talked to my mom or talked to my girlfriends and was like, oh gosh, like this is not where I come from, or this is, but I think a part of me really enjoyed being around more of my people, because when I got to go around my cousins, yeah, they teased me for the way that I sound and told me I sound white and oh my gosh, why you sound so proper. They did all of that stuff, but I still loved them unconditionally because they were my family, right? They were my cousins. We played together. We, walked up to the corner store together, did all that kind of stuff together. But it was great to be around more people that look like me. And the story unfolds so much more to, Kimla and Delali. If you ever see this, thank you. Thank you for taking me in, because I know I was very different. I'm still very different. Kimla makes fun of me now when I say, girl, she's like, she says it all non-soulful. Girl! Like, whatever, okay? I am who I am, okay? It is what it is. I didn't choose to go to White City, USA private school. It was put upon me. But anyways, so all of those things to say, childhood wasn't anything. I mean, there were things that happened, adolescence happened. Things occurred that I didn't like. Things occurred that I liked. Things occurred that I loved. I had great experiences, and, I'm sure there were not so fun times and days, but for the most part, I had a great core. I had a great family. My sister, who will be here shortly, she would come down and visit and gave me a great little nephew for me to, take on as my little baby. And my brother, same thing. He had a son. And that was like, I had a little nephew to like hold on and play with. And, a great paternal grandmother who, rests in heaven. Oh, her spirit is so phenomenal. Mother of 9, and held down the fort for decades after her husband passed away. Aunties on my mom's side that recently, they just passed away in their 90s. Yes. That DNA lives long, baby, on both sides. So a great core family, cousins in Houston, Tiff, Tam, if y'all ever see this, thank you. Thank you for the love that you shared. Tasha, Carather, Randy, Lil Man, like, it's just so many. Travis, Keisha, Rodney, Donna, like, all of my family, they were great. Had a great family. There's always bad apples and bad seeds. What happened to me. But for the most part, a lot of that core time was really, really good. So what I want to do is unpack some of how sexual assault and rape and narcissism and physical abuse crept back in at different points and times in my life. Could it have been places and people that I was around that made those things happen? Could it have been generational curses that needed to be broken? Could it have been bad choices that I made? But we'll unpack those in the episodes to come. So please click like and subscribe and come back for some more. Until next time, go get your Felice Noir.